Hi everyone, this is Gail from Gail Julie Makes. I hope you're all doing well. So today I wanted to do a gel plate tutorial covering something a little bit different to what I normally do. Quite often I do image transfers now, but I just wanted to sort of show you the basic fun you can have with a gel plate. And one of the biggest things I like to do is go and kind of find things to use on the plate. And I've got some lovely lace bundles. Sorry, lots of noise. And just finding things like this for the plate is really good fun. You know, you might go out to a charity shop and find things like doilies and things like that. But these make just beautiful, simple collage papers and just, you know, whatever you want to use it for. Or just pictures in their own right, really. So we've got quite a few nice cut-offs there. All different designs. So I just thought I'd bring you along for something a bit different, because I know some of you sort of struggle with what you're doing on the plate, and it doesn't all have to be about image transfers. I didn't start out doing image transfers. I started out using found objects on the plate. So that is where ultimately, that's one of my loves. I do love doing my own image transfers, but I like incorporating them into work like this as well. So a bit of both is great if you just want to stick to this. Nothing wrong with that at all. Beautiful pieces. And I thought I'd go first of all for a Azo Gold, because it's gives me quite vintage vibes. And this is a Golden Open Azo Gold, and this is the Golden Open is brilliant because it's very slow drying, so it means you can manipulate the plate a lot more and then just pull a straight print. And what I'm going to do today, usually I pull on, or quite often I pull on 300 GSM cardstock, but today I just want to pull on some collage paper. Let's just have a play with a few of these bits here, and these actually would fit the stencil. So let's just try these two down there. Now I'm going to probably waste quite a bit of paper now, but I'm going to stick the stencil down. Not quite gone to the edge, but that's fine. So I'm just going to do this side to about there. Pick some of this paint up. Give some of the lace. And we're going to give that a really good rub through the stencil to get that really fine detail up. There we go. Yeah, there we go. It's all coming out now. Absolutely beautiful stencil, and we want to make sure we're doing the same with the lace. There we go. Okay, so pull that off. We've already got that, which is great. We can use that in some collage work. And then we'll take that off, and we'll take that off, and we'll grab that one. Oh dear, didn't mean to do that. Let's see if I can kind of line that up again. About right, hopefully. That's the thing with the gel plate, it really does suck in that paper, doesn't it? And we've got, obviously went a bit pear-shaped there, but so I think that is the sort I'm going to be going for. What we can do is just spray a bit of this off. Give this a brayer. And then we will pop the stencil over the top like that. Give that a brayer. Pull that off and see what we get this time. Maybe we'll just go for this little bit here. See how that takes this time. Actually, let's take that bottom bit off. Put that there. Okay, yeah, so that works as well. Not too bad. But this, obviously, this one is one of the best ones. Now, we've got another technique we can try. Let's go for a bit of Distress Oxide ink. And what I'm going to do this time is pop this on here and just sort of go through with an ink just to see how this looks. Okay, we'll pull that off, and we've got that lovely print there. And then I'm going to get a new piece of collage paper, and I'm just going to take that off. I think that has mostly gone though, so I think we might just have to redo that. Let's just pop a bit more Azo Gold down there then. Let's just go for that piece again. Lay that down. There we go. And we'll just pull that as is. Like that. I'm just going to really rub on that fabric to get it to come through. Give that a real good rub as well. There we go. There we go. So we get that, which is beautiful for collage. Really nice. That's come out really well actually. Pleased with that one. So I'm pleased with how well the Distress Oxide worked. That was great. So I think what I'm going to do is go and get a blue to match that. So I've got a couple of blue inks here. I've got Tim Holtz Distressing Uncharted Mariner. Yeah, Distress Oxide and Uncharted Mariner as well. So I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to lay down... Obviously we can't be too precious about our lace. Now we've bought it, you know, we're going to use it, aren't we? So what I'm going to do then is probably lay down that one, I think. So let's get some Distress ink down. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is just get the block straight on there to start with. To be honest, you can get some really interesting pulls just from this. So if I show you, let's try doing it over this bit. There we go. And you know, we get some interesting collage fodder there. So what I'll do then is, the other method obviously we can use is we can take a brayer and we can just brayer onto from our ink onto the plate like that. Right, so what we're going to do then is lay one of these pieces down. Where did I put it? There it is. That's quite an interesting one though. So I wish I could curve that a bit more. Let's just use this one anyway because I think that's really interesting. Lay that down, and then we're going to get our stencil again. We can clean this off afterwards. And we're going to lay our stencil... I should have done that further up actually. About here. And you'll be surprised with the ink. The amount of ink, it doesn't look like there's much there, but there is quite a lot there. So we'll get our ink again, and this time we'll go for, let's do the Distress Oxide for a bit more of a muted look. So we've gone through that stencil, we'll pull that off. We've got a little bit more kind of blue down here, but that's fine for now. And then what we'll do is we'll pull the print with that left on. I'm going to lay it shiny side down this time. I don't know what I did last time. Got it at a bit of an angle, but that's fine. And again, going through that lace. You see what I mean? There is actually quite a lot on there once you actually start rubbing it. Okay. I'll take that off. There we go. And we've got that. Interesting. Obviously it stands out a lot at the moment, so what we could do is we could take this off now, and we might get a fine, if we can line it up, we might sort of get a fine imprint over that, but we'll see. I probably won't line it up right now, but we'll see what we get if I try it. Yeah, we've got a bit more of a subtle detail there now. Okay, so just took a bit of time. Sorry, I managed to miss some there somehow. So I'm just going to put that piece there. That's been a bit annoying. There we go, that'll do. We'll have to flatten that with the paper. Okay, and I'm just going to take off, let's take off some of the bottom bit here. Use the Brayer. I was doing a previous pattern, but that's fine. Okay, interesting. So I've got some print on the front and the back, so it's kind of given us a quite interesting effect there. Look, that's in the back as well from the Brayer. And I think what I'll do is maybe just do some up here. Spray a bit of that as well. Again, we've got some coming through the back, but that's fine. Kind of gives almost like an extra layer of detail, really. Okay, so, you know, not quite so interested in that bit, but what we can probably do with that is pull that off. That's some nice detail on here. And what I'll do is maybe go over that again with that same bit. And I'll see I've got a bit of paint on this side, so it's rubbing off onto me, but I think that should hopefully make for a more interesting print. There we go, yeah, that's come out quite interesting. You've got that nice contrast there, so that's nice as well. So I'm going to pick that up and pop that down the middle there. There we go. There we go, that's a nice lovely little bit there. Okay, and then what we'll do, I think, is maybe get a bit of that, maybe put something else here. Let's go for that one. And we'll get a little bit more on this one, I think. Let's do this bit down here. Pretty thin of paper a bit, but that's fine. Okay, that's that one. And then we'll get some of this one. I don't think I'm going to get much from this one, I'll be honest. So let's maybe just Brayer that, like that, yeah. And then this top bit, we'll see what we get here. Like that. Quite interesting, almost elongates her body there on that one, so that looks quite interestingly. I'll take that off. I think I'm going to add that about there. Yep, that's nice. And then we'll go for a little bit more of this in the middle here. And maybe just grab this side bit down here. There we go. Yeah, so pretty much filled our collage paper there. I'm just going to go for a couple of the corner bits I've missed and some of these final bits at the bottom here. By the way, this is wet strength tissue paper, so it's it's really good for collage. Let's just go along there a little bit. There we go, and we just got, so we've got, you know, a bit of work to the edges now, so I'll just take the camera off, show you the whole thing. There we go. So yeah, we've got some interesting pieces there. I mean, that's just a really quick tutorial. The more that you experiment with it, the more you're going to be happy with the end results, you know, in terms of what you're looking for your particular piece. And it doesn't always necessarily work out exactly how you want it to first time round either. I mean, you know, you've got to find the papers that work well and the materials that work well. And another top tip is the cleaning off of your stencil. Now, I didn't really think about it at the time, but I used some kitchen roll I just sat the stencil on top of some kitchen roll and wiped the baby wipe over it, and it's given me these lovely sort of ghost prints of the ink and some of the paint that was left on the stencil. So, you know, these might be able to be used in collage, or certainly I'll be able to use them in my junk journal, for example. Maybe just varnish over them a little bit, something like that. But these look all together different again from the original pictures, so really pleased with those. So, you know, just sometimes you can have a happy little accident, or have a think about, you know, next time you're cleaning up, can you turn it into something you can use, basically. So just thought I'd add that in. Really pleased with how they look. So just wanted to show you how I've started working into this piece. So I've used some of the papers that I made and kind of started building up a landscape around the picture of the lady. So just, you know, only took me literally a minute or two to kind of have a look at the papers and see what sort of things I could spot. So first thing I spotted was what almost looked like a bridge in this piece. So I thought, a landscape. And obviously I'd already done the blue sort of blocks with the ink down here, and I thought that lent quite well to beginning a landscape. So yeah, great fun to do, quite therapeutic. You know, you're just doing process, you're not having to think too much about it, and it's amazing what you can get as a result. So I do hope you'll have a go at collage. And like I say, this is wet strength tissue paper, so what I'll do is just use a matte medium to either put this in a journal, or you know, stick it down to some stronger card, whatever. We've all got different ways that we like to use our collage papers, but I'll use that as a glue and a sealant, basically. So do let me know if you're going to have a go at doing some collage work with the gel plate. It's a great way to do that if you haven't already. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did. It's free to do so. All you have to do is hit the bell and all notifications as well, and then you'll be told whenever I've got a new video coming out. So I'm trying to do one once a fortnight at the moment, and lots more coming up. So I do hope you get some crafting in this week, guys. I know it's a hot one in the UK, so you know, not always feeling like it, but it's nice to get out and about and get some inspiration. So have a great week crafting, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.